if I can say anything to anybody listening, because there's a lot of entrepreneurs in your audience, I know there are, and I want you to stop and think for a second. Treat yourself like your best client. Take one, if you don't feel comfortable doing an hour and a half, take 20 minutes. Start there. Just get into that rhythm, that habit, and develop that mindset. Yes, I'm going to put myself first so I can serve others.
Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome to the Multiverse Leadership Podcast. In a world where cyber threats evolve every day, what's the one digital habit you wish everyone would adopt to stay safe, and why? Today's guest is Brett Gallant, a seasoned technology leader and cybersecurity expert with over 25 years of experience helping businesses thrive in the digital age. Brett is the founder and director of Adaptive Office Solutions, where he empowers organizations to protect their digital assets and navigate the ever-changing world of cyber threats. He's known for simplifying complex tech and delivering actionable strategies. Brett is also the best-selling author and inspiring public speaker who is passionate about making cybersecurity accessible for everyone. Brett, welcome to our podcast today.
Hey, thank you, Justin. It's such a pleasure to be here with you and your audience. It's always an honor to be able to share and help people in whatever way I can.
Yes, we appreciate that because I know I feel and know other people out there feel the information must be shared. You must have conversations.
Yes, and I really get energy from knowing that I inspire people to take action in so many areas that I talk about. So,
yeah, same here. I would love for you to kind of start us off with kind of taking us through your journey in the IT industry and also talk about losing 100 pounds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm excited about all of that. I love that journey of losing. I actually like saying release. I've released over 120 pounds. The reason why I say release is when you release something, you release it forever. When you lose something, sometimes you find it.
That's so true.
Yeah.
I love that.
I've released it forever.
Released.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that one.
Oh, absolutely. Ever since I started saying that, I feel so much better about my own personal journey on that. So we can go so many different directions, Justin, today. And it's when you talk specifically about my background as an entrepreneur, I can sum it up, and I'll do a condensed version of it in honor of time. As a child, I grew up, didn't have a lot growing up, but which inspired me to work. So I had the quest for entrepreneurship even when I was younger, from being a newspaper delivery boy to selling ice cream. And I have some stories behind that really taught me a lot about sales and entrepreneurship that I only really realized in the last 2 years. Later, went into community college, participated in a course, international software marketing and publishing. And then I realized I had a flavor and a love for IT. And I secured a tremendous opportunity to work for a construction fabrication company in Atlantic Canada, which really gave me the groundwork for the future success of my own company. I worked with that company for a number of years, for 14 years. But deep down, I always had this vision, this dream, this hope to start my own company. And in fact, I was doing some work for a real estate firm while working with this construction company. And I remember this because it's very telling, because I had the opportunity to speak a year and a half ago in Phoenix. And I was telling the story about setting goals. And I had the great pleasure of participating in a Brian Tracy webinar with a real estate company. And Brian said, take 3 minutes right now and write down 10 of your goals. So I did this in 2007. And I remember doing that, but I didn't find the book until recently. And it's funny, I have that book in front of me right now while we're speaking. And I
Oh,
found that
nice.
book, and before, about 2 weeks before I spoke in Phoenix, and goal number 4 was by April 1st, 2010, I will own my own successful IT company. That's when Adaptive Office Solutions was born.
10 years ago, over 10, 14 years ago.
Right. But that goal, I guess what I'm saying is that quest for entrepreneurship was always with me. But also, I realized along the way that personal development and improvement in leadership and developing and recognizing and writing down your goals and touching them, going after them is so important. And and I have the book right here. It shows it. I wrote it down. It happened. So
I love how you shared that with us because it is important to write down your goals. If you don't have, if you have a vision, you don't write it down. How do you remember it? It's
yeah,
good you can actually see it, and you want to like kind of repeat it every day and stay on that track.
touch it 2 or 3 times a day is what I do now. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
same here. I actually read mine every morning. I
yeah.
put it on MP3 audio also. I record it with AI also.
Oh, I love that. That's a
Yeah.
Jedi move there. So
Right. I took the Word document, put it into AI, and it created an MP3 file for me, so I take it with me as well.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
that was my entrepreneur story, and along the way, since starting Adaptive Office, it's been a tremendous journey from taking that leap of faith of leaving a tremendous, great job that I worked with that company. They were tremendous people. I loved them. They were so great. They set the foundation for my success. I went from having one employee working out of my house initially to hiring people to having multiple people to having a pivoting my business model at different times along the way and learning and recognizing as I grew that I was the bottleneck in my business. That was very sobering uh, and impactful. But it took me multiple iterations and multiple ways to recognize that. And I'm a person that really uh, embraces the power of coaching. I didn't at first. I said that I was too busy to have a coach, but that was exactly why I needed one. Incredibly going on this journey of just peeling back a layer by layer of the 10x version of myself, of who I can become as a leader and as a business owner.
I love that because we have to work on ourselves before we work on our businesses. Because how you show up for yourself is how you're going to show up for your business, your people, and the people that also your clients as well.
That's right. Yeah. Uh, and so I continue to do that. And I also really, one of my coaches calls me the mindset godfather. Uh,
Ooh, I like that.
I laugh at that. Yeah, yeah. I'm going to give you a little favor, but I I really have embraced developing my mindset, and I challenged myself on shredding those limiting beliefs that hold us back. I mean, we all have limiting beliefs of what's true, and
God,
yeah,
yes.
and
I got a book full right here.
yeah, yeah. So
Oh man, I wanted to mention because I'm in this space too in IT and technology, especially like MSPs and stuff. There's a lot of people that are really good at the technology, but they're not having conversations or thinking how you're thinking or how we're thinking
yeah,
about going through that leadership and bettering yourself for your business. It's almost like they're looking at everything completely inaccurately. They could be looking at it from a different lens on how to better themselves to better their businesses.
well,
How did
and
you get there? Because no one else is doing it. What's so different?
I think people are doing it, but sometimes it's scary to embrace it. And I've
That's
had
very
trouble
scary.
along the way of embracing it. And I've had to hear the same thing. Sometimes you have to hear the same things multiple times until it sinks in, or hear it another time for when you're ready to receive that message. One of my longtime coaches has said to me multiple times, Brett, you need to put your oxygen mask on. So, as an entrepreneur, I speak to so many entrepreneurs in our space in cybersecurity, but also entrepreneurs for the clients we get to serve. And when you're a business owner, it's like you're on an island, and sometimes we wear multiple hats, and and there are times that we drown, and we feel like we need to be the savior. And what I learned, especially in the last few years, more so, I've embraced it more, is I got to put myself first so I can serve others. And the most pivotal, impactful moment for me was in October 2023. I was speaking with my coach, and I said to him, I said, Dave, I don't have time. I don't have time to get to the gym. And he said to me, and I'll never forget it. He said, Brett, you mean to tell me you own your own business and you don't have time? You can't even get to the gym?
Ooh.
And I told him at that time, I can't repeat it. I jokingly said some colorful words, and he laughed, and he knew I was joking. But I really stopped and thought about that. I reflected on it, and I started putting myself first. And and it and at that time, it changed everything. I allowed myself to go out for hikes, getting out for an hour and a half, or getting to the gym for 45 minutes to an hour, invested in a coach to help me with my fitness. And from that time on, how I showed up as a leader, as a father, as a husband changed tremendously. I'm going to be vulnerable for a second. My weight at one point was 349 pounds. That was a month after my father died after COVID. And it hit me. I was probably about 320, but I ballooned up to 349. And I didn't feel comfortable getting out to events because I didn't feel good about myself. I even felt I would even avoid taking my children to the park because I'd be out of breath. So I knew I had to change. And that's just my fitness side, my health, but it also helped with my mental well-being. And it gave me that capacity to think, because a lot of times as a leader, one of the biggest jobs we have to do is have that oxygen, that space to think. And it gave me that breathing room to do it. And so not only did I release the 120 pounds, I also brought in whole new possibilities into my life, got in more stages. I start having the wonderful opportunity to speak to people like you, share my story, share people, be more confident in telling people about why a multi-layered approach to cybersecurity is essential.
That is amazing. That's the same thing that we talk about here as well.
Yeah,
I love that you're going on that journey and sharing it with us, because I always try and tell people like their fitness and how you show up for yourself and your business is so important.
yeah,
And so many people just overlook that part, the fitness part. They don't get it, they don't understand it, but they don't realize how clear your mind becomes, how much better you can show up. I'm sure your wife and kid had a lot to say to you about this journey. Like, who are you now?
well, I don't know if they really recognize it, or they do because they see me all the time. I think they do because I'm more engaged in getting out
They
and that.
have to,
And I
yeah.
was always a person that loved nature and would get out for hikes. Don't get me wrong. but I would really put that at the last minute. Now I'll take 10 o'clock to 11:30 and schedule that for me. And I, if I can say anything to anybody listening, is I want you to stop and think, because there's a lot of entrepreneurs in your audience. I know there are. And I want you to stop and think for a second. Treat yourself like your best client. Take one, if you don't feel comfortable doing an hour and a half or an hour like what I do, take 20 minutes. Start there. Or go for a walk and have a couple of meetings while walking. Start there, like just get into that rhythm, that habit, and develop that mindset. Yes, I'm going to put myself first so I can serve others, because I really believe we all want to serve, we all want to help people, but we have to help ourselves first to help others.
Yes, 100%. Like that whole fitness part really helps you get, like you said, in the mindset to really get out there and start doing more, doing better.
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
do have to start. Just kind of when I started my journey, I was only doing like 15-minute walks on my breaks from an office job.
Yeah,
That was like 4 years ago, and look at it now.
yeah,
Just start somewhere. But all I know, a lot of people have this whole thing built up of trauma or overworking to the point where they forget about the fitness. They forget how to eat right. They just it's not a habit they've built into their life just yet.
yeah, yeah. And we don't know where to start, but the biggest thing is we don't start because sometimes we're overwhelmed, but all you got to do is start. And for example, like I'm in the world I'm in a mastermind with some other cybersecurity experts. And what I do when we do a deep dive on our businesses, about every 45 days to 90 days, when we have those intense days, what I do when we have the 15-minute to 30-minute breaks, I get out and go for a walk like you just shared. 15 to 20 minutes 3 times a day. Boom. You're doing great.
Yes. I actually forget to do that sometimes because I have like back-to-back calls or back-to-back episodes sometimes.
Yeah.
Before I know it, I'm like, oh, I forgot to eat. Oh, I forgot to go outside. But
Yeah.
then I'm miserable again.
Yeah.
So it's like I have to set an alarm, whatever it takes, just go out there and do that.
Yeah.
I love how you said that.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that a lot of us do struggle with.
Yeah. It's like I really think when you're an entrepreneur, you're on an island. But the biggest thing we can do is develop our mindset. And I believe mindset is a muscle, and we got to flex it. And sometimes that flex is just giving yourself permission to take action, to treat yourself like your best client.
All right, I love that. I always say just give yourself grace.
Yes.
You need some you time.
Yep.
Sometimes it is about you. Sometimes it has to be about you. It should be about you.
It should be, because that's that space where you can show up and be even more present for your clients, your wife, and your children.
Yes, and then you really can do and have it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
just gotta do it the right way. Thank you so much. I love how you shared that with us.
Yeah.
That's why we're trying to help people to learn and to start on this channel, just to start taking action. Yeah. I've heard this recently where it's like when you learn to drive, just sit, if you have the car and you get into it, you're not learning anything until you press the gas and go.
Yeah.
And some of us just sit there in the car hoping we learn to drive, but you have to actually do the thing to learn the thing.
Yeah, well, yes, you have to take action. That analogy is so true. I thought of that before. It's like when we were children, when we were first ride the bike. You ride with the training wheels, and then one day, I remember when I was a kid, my father took away the training wheels. I didn't even realize they were gone, and boom, I was riding my bike.
You're doing it, Peter. You're doing it.
Yeah, for 45 seconds, then I fell down. But guess what? You get back up when you fall down.
It's so amazing. When you're a child, you're such resilient. You don't have fear. You just go and you do and you keep doing. But as we get older and adults, all of a sudden that stops.
Right. And we
Something
get
stops.
lost in our own mindset of saying, I can't do this. But we
Yeah.
have to face our fear, face everything and rise. Fear is just a minor setback, but once you take action and you start going, boom, magic happens.
It really does. I was there myself.
Yeah.
I was unable to take action. I didn't know how to grow my business. I didn't know how to reach out and talk to people.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to get off my ass sometimes.
Yeah.
But as I started doing it, it started progressively getting easier and easier. It became second nature.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have gotten there without actually taking the action and just doing the thing you're trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. And don't you find, at least I do, that most people genuinely want to help? So I'm sure you reached out to other people in our space and other business owners, and you just have to have a conversation with someone or get a coach and embrace that and start going.
Yes, you brought up the thing coach again. I like that because I learned that you can't do everything yourself. You're not supposed to. You don't have all the skills, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But to have the know-how and fortitude to be able to get someone to help you, reach out to a partner, get a coach
Yeah.
to help you learn the things that you don't know.
Yeah.
It is a superpower to do that.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Oh, yeah. I look at coaching in so many ways as a guidepost and a sparring partner to help you get to the destination that you were ultimately going to get to, but it's an accelerant for you to get there faster, to help you challenge some beliefs, question some things, and and there's so many different facets of coaching. So
There are, and you also I've learned that sometimes you'll have more than one coach because not all coach you're not gonna have a fitness coach for cybersecurity.
yeah,
So you have to have a cybersecurity coach, a business coach, a fitness coach, and it's good to have different ones with different things that you want to do and achieve.
it's funny you
And it's
say
okay.
that. Yeah, it's funny you say
Yeah.
that because I have all of that, and I like,
Same.
and I'm like, yeah, I had the fitness coach, I had the
Hmm.
mindset coach, um, and then the business and the cyber and the sales. So
Yeah, it's good because you can't see everything. It's like they help you see it, help you, like you said earlier, help you get to where you would like to be and where you feel you need to be.
yeah,
It's a little bit faster. It
absolutely,
might take you 10 years. Now it takes you 10 months.
yeah.
Who would not love that? But you have to realize and understand that you will have to spend money and pain now for pleasure later. That's the other thing.
And I know someone's listening, and maybe they've entertained coaching before, and I'm thinking about this because I just recorded a reel talking about this. So a little over 8 years ago, I had somebody in the business community that believed in me so much that through a government agency and said, "Hey, Brent, I think you would really benefit from business coaching." You know what I said? I said, "Yeah." I said, "No, I'm too busy. I don't have the time." And I spoke to two business leaders in the community, and they told me about their experience. And then I spoke with the consultant, the coach, and I almost didn't do it. But it was exactly why I needed to do it. And now I get to tell this story and thinking about it because it was almost 8 years to the day uh, that I I almost said no, even when the coaching experience was 75% funded by a government agency, where I only had to pay 25% of the coaching for a 10-month
That's
engagement.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah. There's some power in accessing the government to look at funding, but
I didn't even know that was available. I have to check that out
oh yeah,
myself.
no, 100%. But I almost said no, and the biggest yes I've said was when I said yes because it started me on this journey of just improving myself and recognizing that yeah, coaching works, and oh yeah, there's money through government agencies that might be able to do some of this. So,
What were some of those things that were kind of holding you back or like making you be like, no, I don't need this. I can do it on my own. That was kind of your mindset there too
well,
around that
I
time.
was at the time, I was the lid in my business. I was doing all the thinking and doing a lot of the execution. I was not letting go. And I say this a lot now because I'm involved in scouting. I had not really fully embraced this. Train them, trust them, let them lead.
Ooh.
Okay?
Wait, can you repeat that again?
Train them, trust them, let them lead.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Train them,
So
trust
I
them,
had
let
not
them lead.
done that yet. So I was still making the decision, fearful that somebody would make a mistake, but I was not trusting them and empowering them and allowing them to make a mistake and learn from it. So I didn't have the oxygen to do it. But that was exactly why I needed it, because I needed to really get to that journey of recognizing that whole model that I just shared with you that really captures it.
Train, trust, and lead.
Yeah.
I love that you said that because that's kind of what I'm working on myself here
Yeah.
to train to build up other leaders
Yeah.
within my company.
Yeah, and the
Beautiful.
biggest thing I heard, I heard this shared by Dan Martell, and
Ooh, I love that guy.
yeah,
On the
he,
business, not in the business.
yeah, he's one of, I'm in his group coaching program, and
Oh,
and
hell yeah.
he says, and you see, if you follow his content, he
Oh
says
yeah, such good
80%
stuff.
done by someone else is 100% freaking awesome. I've
That gives you
lived
that time,
that.
buy back your time.
Yeah, I live that, and I feel it, and I embrace it, and I challenge and encourage people to do that. Do the things that give you energy. Like right now, you and I are talking. This gives me energy because I know I'm helping
Amazing.
someone. I'm
Yes.
talking right now. I'm talking to the person, the Brett Gallant, 10 years ago that needed to hear this message. And you know what's funny about this right now? There's the Brett Gallant 20 years from now that I'm talking to right now in my head and saying, "Hey, what would you tell me right now? Who's missing out because you're not showing up?" There's some areas where I don't show up, and even for as much as I have an incredible mindset, I still have limiting beliefs. What is that? And so that future Brett is talking to me and say, "Hey, you've already done so much. Stop this.
Oh, I
Fully
feel that.
embrace that. Who is missing out because you're not showing up?" So me coming here today, showing up and sharing my own journey is such a gift and such a privilege.
It really is. You're gonna change someone's life out there just by them listening to this,
Yeah.
looking up this coaching information, looking up Dan Martell,
Yeah.
hearing what you've had to tell us about your journey. They're gonna be like, "Wait, if he can do it, maybe I can too.
Oh,
Where do I start?"
we can all do it. We underestimate how much we're capable of, which is incredible.
God, we do.
Yeah.
I talk to so many business owners sometimes. They're always just working in their business. They have no time for nothing else. They're so busy but not productive. And they still won't listen to people sometimes. And it's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
They could be thriving and living such better, wholesome lives.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Less stressful. Like you said, it's getting out of your own way.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It so true, and we need to really recognize that and embrace it, and just go launch.
Yes, you can go to the moon and grab the stars, literally,
Yep.
by just starting.
Yep. Yep.
Yes. God, it's just so powerful. I love you brought up Dan Martell. I actually never met anyone that did his coaching before.
Yeah.
I knew he had coaching. I watched all his stuff, but I just never really looked into it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I've read his book and everything too. I follow him on YouTube and everything.
One of the things I do, and that that I would recommend people consider doing. This is what I do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of greats that have come before. There's people like Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy, and now there's Dan Martell, Tony Robbins. What I do when I go to the gym, I do 15 minutes of cardio before I go really hard in the gym, 30 minutes progressive overload. I specifically will spend 5 to 15 minutes listening to something positive.
I do, yes.
Feed your mind.
I love.
Yeah.
I know you can put. I love how you put that, because like you can go. If you don't have time for stuff, it's not that you don't have time. It's that you're not really managing your time correctly and putting things in where they need to be. You're just making excuses with the limiting beliefs, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
You go to the gym, you listen to the podcast, and you get your workout in. There's that time right there.
Oh, I go for this beautiful hike nearby that I love, and I actually cut down the trees sometimes to maintain the trail. But there are often times that I'll listen to a podcast while I'm doing that. So feed the mind while you're doing it.
Mind, body, and soul, right there.
Yeah.
Damn. And then that all routes back to family and business, how you show up.
Yeah, because that's what we're here for. To love, to serve.
Right?
You know?
Yes. Like I know you were saying earlier, because we're all so capable of serving. We want to serve people. And like we feel better when we do it. But a lot of us have gotten so far away from it, it seems like. It was like we forget what it means to really be a human being, because we gotten so transactional, so caught up in our lives and busy, and things that just don't really matter.
Yeah.
But what really matters is yourself, being a human being, your family, and your friends, you know?
Giving back to the community in so many ways, in your time. And sometimes all it is just a smile. Or what I've started doing in the last year is part of my non-negotiables. Reach out. One of the non-negotiables I have is reach out and connect with 3 to 5 people a day, and just say, "Hey, I was thinking about you." Or there's that quiet moment where you say, "I've been thinking about calling someone." Call them.
Ooh.
Like I was talking to a family friend today, a longtime friend, and his mother is in long-term care, and he hasn't spoken to his mother since Mother's Day. And life gets busy. It happens. And I said to him, I want to encourage you to do this. Even though life is so busy, take a few minutes and just call. Even if you get on the phone for a minute, just say, "Hey, Mom, I'm just thinking about you. I love you. So thankful for you."
I feel that.
Yeah.
It just takes a few minutes. You have to put into your schedule.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to, because they're not going to always be there.
No.
People think that we're going to always be around. Their parents are going anywhere. Friends aren't going to go anywhere. But we're humans. We live, we die. Things happen so fast.
Oh, and it's so real for me, Justin, because my mother's been in the hospital since March, and she had 2 major surgeries. And at the end of April, she was back in the ICU, and the doctor said, "There's nothing more we can do. We're going to release her from ICU. I don't think she's going to make the weekend." Okay. Yeah. My mother, though, is a fighter, a strong woman. She is. If you went and seen her today, which right before we're doing this podcast, honest to goodness, she wasn't walking. She's walking. Vibrant. I bought her a bag of chips and a Subway cookie. Okay.
Aw.
So it's so important for me to make that extra effort to see my mother, because I know some point she may not be here. And so there might be, at the other side of it, there's relationships that we have. There's someone that we need to call. Someone is listening to this and you know who it is. There's someone you need to call. Please please, whatever it is, after you hear this, just count to 5, dial the number, and call them. And even if you don't get them on the phone, just say, "I'm thinking about you. I love you," or I appreciate you. People need to hear that.
They really do.
Yep.
That's the second time I've heard this week. I was just listening to Mel Robbins' Let Them book.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you ever read
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And she talks about the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Now I'm hearing this again. So I'm thinking there's someone I probably need to call.
Oh, hey, Justin. I said that
Shoot.
wasn't just for everybody. That's also for me.
Yeah.
Right after this, I just thought of somebody I need to call.
Yeah. It's interesting for me, like, I don't have a lot of friends like I used to because I brought them a lot of them, took them out of my life for certain reasons. They just weren't going the same direction, same values, same things anymore.
You love them from a distance now.
Yeah,
you love them from a distance now. Yeah.
But then I figured that I should probably just call and talk with them, check in sometimes also.
Yeah.
But not have to hang out with them. I don't have to go have lunch with them.
No.
Just call, see how they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm learning to do that more, like you were saying, building relationships. I'm learning more about that because one thing that I've understood is I've heard this from Cody Sanchez. The way you do one thing is usually the way you do everything.
Yeah. Yes.
And I was like, damn. So I have that stuck in my mind. Every time I go do something or wake up, it's trying to make sure everything is in alignment. My relationships, the way I show up, the way I do work, everything. You know, I know for me, a lot of things are definitely out of alignment. Well, but it doesn't mean they're not going to always be that way.
No, no one's perfect, and that's what life's about. Every day, like I'm striving to be the 10x version of myself, and the person I needed that I needed to be most. I need it most right now. This version of Brett, this who I am today, is the Brett I needed the most 8 years ago, or even 3 years ago. There are things that have happened just because of the way I show up now, that I'm handling things better. Is it still hard? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Very hard.
Yeah.
I love how you just said that because I feel that same way. If I had me now 8 years ago, but at the same time, I think I'm glad I have me how I am now because how I was then was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But it's that whole thing. If you knew now what you knew, if you knew then what you knew now, would things be different? Because right now it feels different. And it's amazing, like who we are now, who we've become now.
Yeah.
That growth feels so good. It's so amazing. I didn't even know you could feel this way.
Oh, yeah. And just imagine how you feel later on as you keep developing. Yeah. Bang. Yeah.
And that's when you have that complete identity shift from who you were to not who you are, but who you're going to become.
Yeah.
And you need to become for yourself to be that person who is capable of your dreams and that family, whatever you want, whatever you see in your vision.
Yeah. Yeah. So true.
Identity, man. It's a hell of a drug.
Yeah. Yeah. Got to get me some of that. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I thought hopium was a hell of a drug. Then I realized life was a hell of a drug. Then I realized change and growth is more of a drug.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Main's just like, oh, more, man, more. Yeah. Let's grow. Let's learn.
Yeah.
Let's change lives.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. And that's...
Man, Brad, it's been so amazing having you on here and talking with you, having such a real conversation. I didn't know how this was going to go.
Yeah, I mean,
we're both in technology, and usually we love to talk about tech, but I love talking about this stuff more than tech, honestly.
Oh, me too. I enjoy tech. And I like telling my journey because I know like 3 people, well, multiple people have said, hey, Brett, because of what you've shared, you inspired me to start walking, my own fitness and mindset journey. And so I love that. I love that. I've been able to do that because others have come before and done that for me. Folks, for those of you that are listening, I'd love to connect with you. If you find me on Instagram or LinkedIn, let's connect. We can talk about mindset or identity or cybersecurity. But most importantly, share the episode if you know there's someone, 2 or 3 people you think or know that could benefit from hearing what Justin and I talked about. That would be incredible. That'd be the biggest thanks that we could get. I know that I would get. That I know that you shared this with somebody. So
that would be huge. And it will help. I know also that I'll put that down in the show notes. They can reach out to you as well.
Yeah.
Make it a little easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And before we go today, I have one last question for you that I ask everybody. I didn't mention in the beginning. I actually forgot.
Okay.
So you didn't have time to think about it.
Okay.
I always ask everyone, what does it mean to you to be a human being?
Oh, man.
I know. We pretty much just covered it, but...
Yeah, a lot of what I said, but to serve. For me, my life is a life of service, to love, to grow, to help, to be the person I needed to be most. And I like to, at the end of my life, I heard this shared by somebody before, I think it was Ed Mayette. There's that version of us waiting. And I'm hoping that when I get to the end of my life, that person is going to say, hey, I watched you, man. And we're identical. Or I surpassed and did even, because every day as a human being, I'm doing as much as I can to help others, to serve.
I love that. I love how everyone answers that so differently because it's always from the heart.
Yeah.
You know? And with that, I'm trying to help people remember what it is to be a human being because we forget. We get too transactional and tied up in life.
Yeah.
We really forget what we were so involved in our businesses and stuff. They're like, wait, I'm not a robot. I do exist.
Yeah.
I'm a spiritual being having a human experience.
Bingo. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Brett, so much for coming on here. It's been wonderful having you on here. And definitely going to have you back and just do some great stuff together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Likewise, Justin. I really am thankful that you and I had an opportunity to speak today.
Yeah, this is how so you were talking about earlier to like reach out to people. I found doing this podcast has kind of helped me build that skill and ability inside me to do that more. And then meeting such amazing people and doing this
Yeah.
that I never would have met before by just not taking any action, not doing anything.
Yeah. Love it.
No?
Good. Keep shining.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. Well, thank you again, Brett. And hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
Thank you. You too.
All right, bye.